Good morning, students. Welcome you all one more time in my channel. In previous three lectures, we have discussed about communicative English and technical writing. We have discussed about idioms and phrases in second video. And the last video, we have discussed about color idioms. In today's topic, we are going to discuss about how to make effective resume, or we are going to get more information about resume writing. A resume is a self-marketing tool designed with one purpose in mind: to sell our skills, knowledge, and experience to an employer so that he or she will invite us for an interview. An effective resume speaks to the employer's needs and requirements and demonstrate a match between what we have to offer and to their requirements. A resume should be factual, impressive, readable, and tailored to the position one is seeking for. It should describe the experience and achievements to stimulate a position response. Since employers want to know about the candidate in details, one must describe the duties and responsibilities, accomplishments where one has worked earlier. Effective resumes are developed by individuals who have truly researched the organizations they want to work for, have identified the specific job they want, and have figured out what they have to offer. In addition, well designed resumes have these characteristics in common. Now we are going to discuss about the characteristics which we need to make effective resume. The first one is visual appeal. Second one, highlights strength and links them to employer's need. Excludes irrelevant experience. Presents the most important information first. Entirely free from typographical errors, and it should not exceed 2 pages. There is a concept about resume writing, resume, biodata, or curriculum vitae. The terms of resume, biodata, and curriculum vitae are often used synonymously, but they differ from each other in quite a few aspects. First of all, we are going to discuss about what is biodata. Mostly people ask biodata, resume, and CV. These all are same, but there is a bit difference that we would like to discuss in today's lecture. What is biodata? As the name implies, biodata is a form of biographical data which is attached to job applications. Earlier, biodata was used to screen applicants for military and army purpose, where it was mandatory for applicants to include their biographical details such as date, date of birth, age, height, gender, percentage, eyesight, religion, caste, hobbies, etc. Apart from this personal details, the biodata also contained educational qualifications, work experience, and skills required for the job. If we now we talk about a curriculum vitae, which is very popular as a CV. CV, it is a detailed resume which contains all the elements of resume in an extended manner. Thus, a CV contains a detailed account of all the academic credentials, the employment history, along with the skill set one possesses. A CV is more knowledge oriented and is generally used to apply for positions in research organization. So biodata is a different concept, CV is a different concept. Objective may be same, but the level, the content are different. Now we focus on resume. We are going to discuss about types of resumes. The standard types of resume used by job seekers in today's employment market are the chronological resume, the functional resume, and sometimes combination of these two format. Now first we'll discuss chronological resumes. then which is mostly preferred by the students. In this type of resume, job history is organized chronologically with most recent information first. Job titles and organizations are emphasized, and duties and accomplishments are described in detail. A chronological resume is easy to read since it highlights names of employers and job titles and emphasizes career growth. It is best suited to those whose earlier goals are clear and whose job objectives are aligned with their work history. A chronological resume is advantageous when it will be advantageous when our recent employers and our job titles are impressive. We are staying in the same career field, or our job history shows progress. With that, we are working in a field where traditional job search methods are utilized. In such situation, chronological resumes are very much preferred. Second type, that is functional resume. In a functional resume, skills, potentials, accomplishments developed through work, academic and community experiences are highlighted. The lack of experience or possible gaps in work history are de-emphasized. These type of resumes are preferred by fresh graduates or applicants who have little or no work experience. A functional resume is advantageous when one has little or no experience. Suppose you are now in a final year, third year, you are supposed to complete your degree, and within a year you will have a degree. Such students should make functional resume because they don't have experience. One is changing career, one has changed employers frequently, one wants to de-emphasize age, or one has been absent from the job market. There are certain contents and criteria are given here, but the most important factor that we have to keep in our mind, because a fresher graduates should make functional resume because he has academic success, academic accomplishment is having with him, so he has to show that first. Those are having experience, those are already working in a company, those are having a lot of things to show, they should prefer chronological resume. Now we will move on to the next slide. We will discuss about making your resume, how to make resume. Time. What is the initial amount of time an employer takes to review an applicant's resume? Means employer who see or who reads your resume, how much time they take? Hardly 15 to 20 seconds minimum time, or maximum 45 seconds. That means they're having a limited amount of time to read your resume. Why do you need a resume? What is the purpose behind that? Everybody students, everyone, those are studying in the final year or third year, they're eager to know about how to make resume. They continuously asking to the faculties, they're continuously trying to get more information from the various methods of searches, and they want to know what is the purpose and why we require a resume. So first of all, you should understand a marketing tool. It is a marketing tool. You have to sell your skills in a market, and for that reason you require resume. You need to show everything in black and white, means you need to show everything in a writing. You will have to present it properly, so that's why you require resume. So it is called a marketing tool. Second point, it is to obtain an interview, not a job. Student, those are applying for a job, they should write proper resume with the proper format. It is the method with that you can get a call for an interview. Requirement of many organization, many employer, many organization, many companies, they are not giving you any call for an interview on oral basis. You need to submit your resume with full required details that shows your skills, your accomplishments, your success, and on that ground you get a call. Resume hidden messages. There are certain hidden messages are there that you have to understand. There are two columns are made, and according to that you will have to understand. Resume should be neat. When you are making a resume, it should be neat and clean. You should understand that you are not supposed to send this to particular college only, but it is accepted by, or it will be accepted by, many organization. So it should be neat, it should be properly managed, well organized. Your resume should be well organized. You have to go with the particular order. Suppose you are making a chronological resume or you are making a functional resume, you have to go with the proper sequence so that it should be readable, error free. Most of students do such mistakes. I personally saw that, and I think you might have seen earlier. There are number of errors you will find when they show their resumes. So try to avoid such errors. Your resume should be error free. Professional appearance. Professional appearance means, in this category or in this content, we have to understand you are not supposed to write some details about you on a paper and you are considering it's a resume. No, you will have to make a proper resume which require for company. Your professionalism should reflect through your resume. So make sure professional appearance should be there in your resume. Attention to detail. Whatever you are writing in a resume, whatever information you are submitting with that resume, it should be clearly mentioned. Attention should be given to the certain points which are your skills, which are your certain points or positive side that should be easily identified by the employer. So you need to make it properly. Take a look sections of a resume. There are different sections are there, and now we are going to move about sections. The header. What should be included when we are making a resume? What should be included? First is name, your complete name. Permanent and present address, your complete address, because most of the time it requires for verification, identification also. Email address. Nowadays most of companies are making a conversation through mails only. So if you write proper email ID, then it will be easy for them to identify, or if they want to send any conversation, if they want to make any communication regarding your job perspectives and any other thing, they prefer mail ID. So please write a proper email ID on your resume. Telephone number. I suggest you, please, you should go with the two numbers, one personal number and one at least home number or your parents number, so that it will be easy for them to catch you on your number. And most importantly, whenever they want to make any communication, they can catch you easily. Where should contact information go? Contact information should be posted on the top of the page. You should remember that. Now when we write the resume, we are talking about objective statement. Most of the students fail to write correct career objective. And what is the purpose behind writing an objective? It communicates the type of position you are interested in. So you are interested in certain field, you will have to describe in a proper way so that reader should understand in which field you are having interest and which field you want to make your career and what will be your objectives in after in that particular field, or after 3 years 5 years your goal. Management trainee position with a specified retailer. Examples: to obtain a position as a field service representative with XYZ Software Corporation, which means you need to show in objective that what is your plan, how you are going to work, what will be your skill, and how you can be successful if you are enter in this field. Now we need to move on and we will talk about education. First, when you are going to give description about education, you will have to understand, you have to write the name of the institute or name of institution, include city and state if not part of the title. You can write a city's name wherever you are belong to, or state, that should be appear properly. Name of your degree and major, you should mention in your, because you're writing about your educational qualification, so you should mention about your degree. For example, you are engineering student, so you should write Bachelor of Engineering in Civil Branch, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration Accounting, for examples already I put. Next thing, list degrees in reverse chronological order. Most recent degree is listed first. You need to understand, because when you are presenting our documents or when we are showing our academic achievements, most recent degree is listed first. Means if you are a final year student or you are a master, you have completed your master degree, so you will have to put MTech first, then BE, then rest of the educational achievements, in that way. Date or expected date of graduation, because now you are in third year, or in next year you all will be in fourth year, so expected date of graduation you can mention. It is not mandatory, but you can mention in this format. Graduation date, for example, is given May 14, expected graduation date May 15, like that. Next one, grade system, or when we need to show our GPA, major or overall at least, or round down the nearest 10, so you can write your percentage or your grade like that only. High school information, if you require, you need to mention that high school information, then you should write, otherwise no need. Experience, when we write the term experience in our resume, we find that we find difficult to write the experience properly. The experience means what? What is considered experience? The first one, full and part-time jobs. You need to show whether you work as a full-time employee or part-time employee, the particular, because mostly students are mentioning that they were working in that company for 6 months. They never mention it was a part-time job or full-time job. Second thing that you need to remember, that is self-employment. If you self-employed earlier in the previous time, then you need to write about that way also. If you work as a volunteer, because most of the students also do that, because of they want to gain experience, so they volunteer work also. So if you do like that also, you can mention. Practicum field and cooperative education, if you have any kind of if you are associated with any field or any cooperative education, you need to show that also. Information which you need to include: job title, date of employment, company name, and city and state also. Job title, because you are mentioning experience in this category or in this content, you need to know what was your job title, dates of employment, company name also you have to mention, and most importantly city and state name should be there. Now when you are showing the experience, you need to show what kind of responsibilities you hold in earlier position. So the first you will have to show like that. You can show with the bullet points also. Start of each line with an action verb like present tense if currently employed. Suppose you are working now also and you want to show in your resume because you are applying in some other company. So remember, it should be written in a present tense. ध्यान में. Second one, past tense if no longer employed. Suppose you have left the job, you are not having any job, you are jobless at the moment. Then time, if you are submitting any resumes to any employer, please mention in a past tense. Even you can vary your choice of verbs, because mostly students are writing in a different format or different verbs they are used. So try to understand that also. Tailor skills and experiences to the position for which you are applying. Be concise while providing enough detail. Tailor skills and experiences to the position which you are applying. Suppose you are applying for any engineering post or a junior engineer post, and you are having a lot of skills, but they require only specific skills. So you need to tailor that skills. You need to scrutiny that skills. You will have to show properly that this particular skills required for getting this job. So you need to tailor some skills. Be concise while providing enough detail. Mostly students are writing a lot about themselves, and the problem is that it doesn't look good because hardly resume we have to write in 1 or 2 page long only. So make sure it should be concise while providing your enough details. Honors and awards for success. If you're having any kind of success, if you're having any kind of achievements, because you are a student, so it should be written in a reverse chronological order. Your rank order by importance to the career objective. Whatever achievements you are having, it should be match with your career objective. Professional affiliations and activities. Whatever your professional affiliations, because you are a student or whether you're working somewhere as a company, so it should be written by order by date, reverse chronological. Rank order by importance to the career objective. Do not say member of. Try to avoid to write the member of. Emphasize your leadership roles. Whatever achievements you have, as you lead the team. So if you're having some success to show, you should highlight that also. And most important thing is that you need to spell out the organization's name. Do not use abbreviations or acronyms. And what is abbreviations and acronyms? Do not write short form. Please do not write short form. You should write proper name of the company, and it should not be written in acronyms form. The most important thing that you have to remember in this category, resume do's. Resume do's. What we have to do when we have to write the resume? Use action verbs. Try to write resume in action verbs. Second, use short and concise sentences. There are students who write a long lengthy sentences to make a positive impact about themselves. Here they do mistakes. When you have to give details about yourself, try to concise, and it should be short also. Use hashtag dollar percentage amounts. If you want to show some numericals, you can show also. Most importantly, keep your resume easy to read. If you're writing a lengthiest resume, nobody will take interest to read that. And just as I told you in the beginning of this particular presentation, that hardly employer read 15 to 20 seconds. If it is readable, they are having interest to read, they read for 45 seconds also. So remember, your resume should be readable. Keep resume about 1 page. Try to keep resume about 1 page. If you extend, it will convert the CV. It will not like that resume. It will not look like resume because you put a number of information in one thing. The resumes don'ts. What you should not do while writing a resume, you should understand. Do not use the pronouns such as I, me, my, etc. Do not include references. Do not clutter your resume with non-essential information. Do not make any misrepresentations. Do not include personal information like age, sex, height, weight, marital status, photograph, etc. So one by one I describe you. First point is that do not use the pronouns such as I, me, my. Please don't write like that. I, me, my is not acceptable because it is not that you are not going to represent that. You need to give your own information only. Do not include references. There are certain students writing references which is not accepted. If required, then you can put, but mostly you should avoid it. Do not clutter your resume with the non-essential information. We want to make our resume perfect, so what we do, we try to put everything in our resume which is associated with us. So sometimes we do non-essential information also. We put such information which is not associated with us, which is not associated with this job also. So try to avoid it. Do not make any misrepresentations. Please try to avoid that also. And the last point was do not include personal information because it is not necessary. For any help, you can contact me. I'm there for you. If you like my video, please share, subscribe and like also. And I will send more videos so that I should update you about this contents, communicative English. So thank you one more time.